Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to see what is API, REST API and RESTful API. So I created a beautiful PPT for you guys so you can simply understand. So we are going to discuss some important topics like what is API, benefits of using APIs, what is RESTful API and REST API, endpoints of REST APIs and RESTful APIs, and last difference between REST API and RESTful API. So, REST API and RESTful API used in the modern state of client server architecture in software development. So, talking about more, so go to our next slide uh, where we understand about APIs. So, what is API? API full form is Application Programming Interface, abbreviated as a API, which is a software intermediary that allow two applications to talk to each other. Let's look into an example to go through with this topic. So our image, you can see there are two type of user, like one user and one web application. So user can request through web application, and web application request through the API, and API go through the web server and go through the database. After the process, then database send some data to the web server, and web server send to the API, and API send to the web application, and user get their response. So if user wants to book a train ticket, let example, if user wants to book a train tickets, web application shows the departure time, station, like that, all the information. The second, when we look in this form, the developer side, developer wants to display all the train schedule information in the web application. Then developer use the APIs to get this trains information from the web server, where all the train details and information are stored. The last third, then developer can retrieve data from the web server using the APIs to display in the web application. So after understanding what is API, we are going to see benefits of using API. So APIs needs to make the connection between application functions to handle the data from predefined process. One is the easy of integration. APIs can be embedded with any type of software application, so it can easily integrate with the application and functions between different websites. Second point is reduce software development effort. Using APIs reduce development efforts. Developer can implement APIs of a Google Maps to provide the exact store location to website visitors. So talking about the third point is security. So APIs provide a secure communication gateway for a different app components to interact and exchange data. So moving towards the next slide. So what is RESTful API and REST API? So previously you see the REST APIs. So previously you see the APIs. Now we are going to see what is REST API. So the full form of REST API is representational state transfer, abbreviated to REST. It is an API that follows a set of rules for an application and services to communicate with each other. REST API work by fielding requests for a resource and returning all relevant information about the resource, translated into a format that client can easily interrupt. Means this format is determined by API receiving requests. Clients can also modify items on the server and even add a new items to the server through a REST API. So talking more about the RESTful API, so the RESTful API is always the REST architecture constraints and interacts with the RESTful web services. The RESTful API also follows the principle of a REST API, and REST APIs are more scalable and have a longer lifespan. The RESTful API uses HTTP requests to access and use the data. So there are four basic HTTP requests a client can make are like get request, post request, put and delete request. So get request is used to retrieve our resources, and post request is used to create a new resources. Put request is used to edit or update an existing resources, and delete is used for delete the resources. So that's all from my side, and I hope this video is very helpful for you guys if you like prepare for an interview. So I hope your all doubts are clear on API, REST API, and this all question are asking an interview, so you can easily answer this type of question. So thank you friends, like my channel at the last. Thank you.